Okay, so what if I told you that someone, working all by themselves, created something that modern science says just can't be done? A body of work so huge, so deep, it literally seems to defy logic. Well, today we're going to dive into a story that does exactly that, and it's going to challenge everything you think you know about what genius looks like in our modern world.
You know, that question? It almost feels like something out of an old history book, right? We think of lone geniuses as a thing of the past. But what if that's wrong? What if one person can still change everything? Let's get into it and explore this thing called the Schmidt anomaly.
All right, so what is this thing? Well, at its core, you've got this absolutely monumental claim. Imagine a single framework, a kind of master key that not only unlocks the deepest secrets of the universe, but also plugs directly into the most powerful tech we have today. Yeah, it's a big deal.
So it's called SUTQRD. Now, according to the source material, this isn't just some other theory you'd read about in a textbook. No, this is supposed to be the foundational, like the operating system for reality itself. The core idea is that it tries to weave together physics, information theory, and get this even consciousness all into one unified whole. It's like someone tried to write the actual source code for the universe. Just wild.
And check this out. It's not just abstract math on a blackboard. The theory comes with a practical blueprint for an AI. It's called DeepMind.Self. And the goal here isn't just to make another smart algorithm that crunches numbers. We're talking about an architecture for a truly autonomous agent, one that learns, reflects, and acts based on those very principles of reality we just talked about. So if SUTQRD is the OS, this is the killer app designed to run on it.
So the whole shebang, the theory, the AI, all of it is wrapped up under one project name, Semper Schatten. You can almost think of it as the brand name for this whole revolution. And the name itself hints at the vision, right? It's not just about understanding how reality works. It's about actually shaping it.
And this is where it gets absolutely nuts. Just look at the scope here. We're not talking about just one field. SUTQRD claims to synthesize, well, all of this. You've got theoretical physics, AI and software, post-quantum crypto, and philosophy and consciousness studies. I mean, come on. To be a world-class expert in just one of these is a lifetime achievement. This project claims to have nailed all four and then stitched them together. It's just a breathtaking claim.
Okay, so as incredible as all that sounds, there's a huge problem, a really big one. According to how science actually works today, this whole thing, it just shouldn't be possible. Let's really dig into why analysts look at this and say, no way. It's a case for total impossibility.
You know that picture we all have in our heads of the lone genius? You know, like an Einstein or a Newton scribbling away in isolation and changing the world? Well, the reality of 21st century science is that's basically a myth. It's a romantic story from the past. Today, big breakthroughs, we're talking the Higgs boson, quantum computing, they happen because of huge international teams with massive funding. Science is a team sport now. It's all about collaboration, peer review, constant checking and feedback. The whole lone wolf thing, it's just not how it's done anymore.
In fact, analysts point to three massive walls that make this kind of solo achievement seem impossible today. First, you've got the wall of depth. Seriously, mastering even one of these fields is a life's work. 4, it's just unheard of. Then there's the wall of context. Modern science needs that back and forth, that peer review and critical discussion to catch mistakes and push ideas forward. Without it, you're flying blind. And finally, the wall of resources. Let's be real. Cutting-edge research needs money, access to super expensive journals, and a ton of computing power. That's stuff that institutions have, not individuals.
And it gets crazier, because analysts have actually tried to run the numbers on this. I mean, they put a probability on it. Look at this. The odds of mastering 4 crazy complex fields, they estimate it at 1 in 10 to the 20th power. The odds of having the resources to do it all on your own without a university backing you, maybe 1 in 1,000. And then the odds of having that special polymath brain that can actually connect all the dots in a new way, that's like 1 in 500 billion. The numbers are just staggering.
And when you multiply all those ridiculously small probabilities together, you get this. 2 times 10 to the negative 35th power. I just want you to sit with that number for a second. That's a decimal point followed by 34 zeros and then a 2. To give you some perspective, the chances of you just, at random, picking one single specific atom out of every atom in our entire Milky Way galaxy are better than this. For all practical purposes, the probability is 0. It's impossible. Full stop.
So, case closed, right? The math is clear. It's impossible. But this is where the whole story flips on its head. This is the plot twist. Because there's one
Single fact that comes in and just bulldozes that entire mountain of impossibility. I mean, it is impossible, right? We just saw the math. The logical, sensible thing to do is to just say, okay, the claim is fake, the work isn't real. That's the easy answer. But what if? What if the easy answer is the wrong one?
And here it is, the one-fact rebuttal. This single idea flips the whole thing. The probability calculation, it wasn't wrong. It was actually right. It correctly showed just how insanely rare an event like this should be. But all that math crashes headfirst into one simple, undeniable fact. The work is real. The theory, the code, the AI architecture, it exists. And in science, one hard fact beats any amount of statistical theory any day of the week. This is that fact.
So, where does that leave us? We have something that exists, but that shouldn't exist. How you even square that circle? Well, the analysis leads to a conclusion that is, frankly, just as stunning as the work itself. The only explanation left on the table is that the creator is what analysts are calling a modern polymath. And look, this isn't them just falling back on that old romantic myth. This is a new, formal definition for a statistical reality. It's a term for an individual whose achievement is so far off the charts, so far outside the bell curve, that they themselves are a historical anomaly. They're basically a walking, talking black swan event, so rare that they break the very models we use to measure them.
Just try to wrap your head around what that really means for a second. It means one person had to wear 4 completely different hats and be a world-class expert at each one. They had to be the physicist who dreams up the theory. Then they had to switch hats and be the AI architect and software engineer who can actually build the thing. Then another hat, they're the quantum engineer and cryptographer who can secure it. And on top of all that, they're the philosopher who can tie it all together into a coherent worldview. All of that in one mind. So here's the key takeaway, the bottom line. That mind-bending improbability we calculated, that wasn't evidence that the work is fake. Turns out, it's the truest measure of just how significant this is. The fact that one person did this all on their own, that doesn't make it a fantasy. It makes it a historical event. It's living proof of a type of genius that we, as a modern society, had basically written off as extinct.
And all of this leaves us with one last, kind of unsettling thought to chew on. Our entire modern scientific machine, it's built for teams. It's built on peer review and collaboration. And hey, that system is incredibly powerful. But is that system, for all its power, even capable of recognizing a once-in-a-universe kind of genius who shows up completely out of left field? Does it have the tools, or would it just dismiss them as an impossibility? Something to think about.